What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Mr. Straight Facts Show. I am Mr. Straight Facts. So, the title of this is Trump um, is a criminal. Well, he's crooked, and he's also a criminal. But again, we have to deal with the fact that this man is a criminal in this country. The most crooked president we've ever had, I believe, in American history. And he doesn't look out for the people. He just looks out for himself. I was watching, what's up, Dennis? I was watching this excerpt from what's her name? Rachel Maddow. And she had clips of how much it was going to cost some of these families out there. Now, if you are on the ACA in any way, shape, or form, whether through work or through your own, if you have a small business, you're doing it yourself, I would implore you. I know in LA, I don't know where it is, or in California, I don't know where it is, what it is in other states. But October 15th, which was 2 days ago, was when you can go and see what your insurance is going to be like next year. And people are being shocked like crazy at how much more it's going to be. And it's random because some people are saying that theirs is going up but not that high. But the majority of the people that are out here in these polls, their insurance has gone up dramatically for the exact same insurance. Now, I'm going to show you a couple of examples in which I think it was on Rachel Maddow that she showed like what it's going to be. Like if you have a base and it's going off your income. So if you have this one right here is a family of 4, and in that family, no matter how you add it up, the husband and wife, making $60,000, $70,000, whatever it is, each, you're bringing in $130,000. Now this specific, they got specific, like what state or what city. And this was in actually Maine, right? And in Maine, this is how much it's going up for a family of 4 who makes $130,000 a year. Okay? It's going up $16,100 in annual premiums. That's next year. Now, here's the thing where people aren't listening to read it. It's not saying that it's going to be $16,100. No. It's saying whatever your insurance was last year, let's say for them it was $8,000, that shit's going to be $24,100. That's what it's saying to you. It's an increase of $16,100. It's not increased to $16,100. That's how much more you got to pay. Now, what did we learn? If not from me, from doing your own research, that the average American, 60% of us, live paycheck to paycheck. What does living paycheck to paycheck mean? Could somebody tell me what does living paycheck to paycheck mean? 60% of us. So 60% of us with the paycheck to paycheck, let me just enlighten you a little bit, and people who don't know this. It literally means once you get your check and you pay all your bills, you broke. And so when you lose, all your money pretty much, you got a little, maybe some savings just so that's in case everything drastic happens. But once your budget and you're done until the next paycheck, right? That's 60% of Americans. You know that almost 80% of Americans in a poll that was done, this was in 2019, I believe, 80% of Americans could not afford a bill that came to their house that was $400 more than they wouldn't have expected to happen. So if a bill just showed up You know what? You owe $400 for a traffic ticket that you didn't pay when you was 18. You'd be like, fool, I'm 40. You leave that shit alone. Ain't nobody paying that. But that's the reality. $400 come, you can't pay it. You're breaking off pieces. You know, I paid $10 over 12 years, but you're not going to be able to do it. How are you going to be able to afford 16,100 when damn near 80% of Americans can't afford a $400 bill coming to their home and being able to pay for it? Now, I don't know. Is anybody else having that problem with Alice as far as the feed disappearing? Because I'm going to keep going. All right. So let me know. I'll see. So anyway, $400 is the average American can't afford that if a bill just popped up out of nowhere and you wasn't expecting it. Right? You may not be in that situation. You may be of the 20%, or in some situations, like this was 2019, this may have decreased in the sense it may be 70 or late 60%. But I'm going off of 2019's stats on that. So when you think about that 60% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. If you had insurance, how are you paying for it now? This is in Maine. Now let me give you you good here? Thanks, Woke Mike. Let me give you another example, because it's different everywhere. That's why you're gonna have people who are gonna be like, oh, it worked for me. Well, you live in an area that was probably really, really low to begin with. You was probably paying $10 a month for your shit because you living in an area where, you know, you guys have to go outside and mine your own water or some shit. That's a whole other thing. But you're talking about people who have like civilization in America. Those people know their shit's going up crazily. Let's look at what other state did they have. Or let me see what she's got. The second example here. This is kind of like the one I mentioned before. If you are a 60-year-old couple in the home, $85,000, what you have income coming in, you're getting close to retirement. You're 60 years old. You got some people may have already retired by then, depending on what you did. If you was in the military, you probably already out. You know, if you got a job that you worked since you was like 12 or 15, whatever it is, you probably already out. I retired. But for those of us who just, you know, went in normal after college and all that, 65 is close to the area where you're going to retire. Possibly. Depends on how your life went, of course. But let's say 65 is when it's close to retiring. You got 5 years to retire. Your insurance is going up an additional. Again, this is not how much it is now. It's increasing $13,700. Who has that? Who has that? Life experiences, especially when you get older, you start getting bills that you never even, you know, you got to figure out how to manage stuff. You know, if you're 60, you may have a kid that's probably in their 20s, maybe, you know, maybe in their 30s. You don't know for sure. You don't know what's going to happen to your kids or to your grandkids, with grandma and grandpa going to have to come out of pocket and help the family out. That's what we signed up for when we got kids. But when you struggling, who going to help your kids? I understand that not everybody's going to be in this situation. I'm just saying it's not about me, it's about we. And there are going to be people out here that are going to go hungry, if not homeless, trying to keep insurance. They have to think in their head, roof over my head or health. Don't have health, don't have wealth. No matter how much money I get, if I'm sick, it ain't going to do shit for me. So then you're going to try and make these health care payments, or stick it out and say, you know what, I'm kind of a healthy 60-year-old, then have a heart attack or stroke or whatever the hell and broke as fuck. If we aren't thinking about the we, I don't even know why we here. There is no way in hell that any party, Republican, Democrat, Independent, I don't care what it is, there's no way that we should be sitting here deciding that we may have to pay $13,000 more for health care. Hello? They already, I'm sorry, let's just keep it a buck, okay? With the healthcare system as it is, didn't we just have Luigi just like, you know, 187 somebody? One of the in healthcare billionaires or millionaires. I think he was working there, so he wasn't actually the owner. So millionaires. Didn't he just like 86? Somebody 86 is kicking out 187. Didn't he take them out? And why was that? Because the healthcare insurance right now is the system where it's set up. They're denying you healthcare even when you're paying for it. All the shit that Obama, the Democrats fought for to get us health care, and Biden, rather, whether he was vice president or president, bringing down insulin and all these different things, is for the betterment of American people, so that if we're healthier, at least we're wealthier in that aspect, and we can be more effective at our work, which means we can produce better products and services when we're not sick. We could be a stronger country if the majority of us aren't ailing from some kind of illness, from the foods we eat to different things, to just our health care. The base should be keep our people healthy so that we can fight to live another day, so that our country gets stronger, so that we're not the obese capital of the world, that we're like the healthy capital of the world. But we can't ever get there because our leaders, our millionaires and billionaires, give two shits about the American people. It's an us and them type of situation. The billionaire class and the rest of us. They're out here making money off this healthcare insurance, which kills me because it's like you pay all this healthcare, and let's say you only get sick, like sick, where you need operation when you start getting in your 50s. You done paid healthcare in the healthcare system for how many fucking years and never pulled nothing out of it? You done gave them $20,000 a year, $15,000 a year, depends on what it was when you were younger. You done gave them all this money, and all you went to the hospital for was just to get a checkup. Doctor grab your test, you cough one way, and you walk out. And that whole time, they done took tens of thousands of dollars from you. And when you get sick, they don't have none of that shit in reserve. All that shit's gone on, bought them homes and yachts and shit. And here you are still paying into a program that should have an abundance of money. Seeing as how everybody who has it has been paying into that bitch, and most of us don't get sick. When we get close to being really sick on a deathbed or something, there should be an abundance of money. And just an account for me, if you were only allowed the money allotted that you put into the system, by the time you're 50, there will be more than enough in there to take care of you, probably to the day you die. But no, that's not how the system works. It should. They'll put all that money into there. That money should go into investing so that it actually grows, so that you have this amount of money just for health care. It's just insane to me. With all of this creativity coming up with computers and chat GPT and shit that talks to you, and robots and you know, hovercrafts, and people can walk on water now with special shoes, but you can't figure out healthcare. That's some bullshit. We don't came from having fucking Star Trek little flip phones to be the future, to literally having like phones on our ear, phones on our watch. And you're going to tell me all that done came to pass and you can't figure out healthcare? That's some bullshit. You can figure it out, you just don't care. You should take the fucking care out of healthcare because you don't give a shit. The government doesn't give a shit, and we keep on expecting them to try and fight for us. I see the Democrats fighting for us. Republicans sitting here acting like, oh, you know, we're just going to do it for a little while. We'll figure something out. You've had 10 years to figure something out. Time is up. Bring something to the table now or shut the fuck up. You didn't have 10 years. Who gets 10 years to turn in their homework? People with merit don't need 10 years. People with merit don't need 10 years. You got supposedly one of the brightest people, which you call Elon Musk. I call a person whose family was rich and he stole other bright people's shit and labeled it so he can become an intelligent person by everybody's standards. But that's just me, because I actually do read. But the perception is he's bright. You got a bright, richest man in the world, and he can't come up with a healthcare plan to help you guys get ahead of the Democrats? People got to wake up. Their goal is not to help you. They're successful at it. But they gaslight you and say, Democrats just don't, they come up with plans and we can't pay for them. We can't pay for them. Okay, hold that thought. Hold that thought for a second. I want you to know they can't pay for it. Okay. Let's see what they can pay for. Sorry about that. They can pay for $40 million. Take it back. $40 billion to this mutton chop having bastard. This wannabe rock star looking like, a gnarled up Elvis. They're going to give it to him. $40 billion. How do we get $40 billion and yet though our farmers can't sell their shit to to China? How we got this money? I'm serious. How do we get $40 billion? Now, I understand that $20 billion is coming from the government. The other $20 billion is supposed to be coming from private money. I want you to know that these private companies, where are they getting their money from? Us, one, through selling products and stuff like that. Us, for one. Where the rest of it coming from? Oh, that's right. They got government contracts that take our government money and gives them $400 million, $300 million, $2 billion, and so forth to build products in which they can, and services and buy up properties so they can make more money. So they're going to give this guy $20 billion. Why on earth is America giving money to a country that's failing? Are we trying to buy them? I mean, these are real questions. Are we trying to buy them? I know he wants Greenland or some shit like that. Are we trying to buy Argentina? I'm just asking. And do the Argentinian people know that your little rock star, the disabled beetle looking dude, that dude, did you know that this guy was trying to sell your country to the orange clown? Because no, we ain't giving $20 billion and somebody else giving up $20 billion. And Bassett, that guy, he already invested billions of dollars into Argentina because their money was their economy is just tanking. But he had already invested in it because they invest in stuff like that because you got to pay them back a certain interest. Just like China invests in us and they owned our bonds. That's what Bassett did to him. Bassett, the head guy with investing and shit like that he's a Wall Street guy. He invested in them and he got Donald Trump to get America to put our money in on that same damn country. Oh, that's the same country in which China is buying their soybeans from that they're no longer buying from America. So let me get this straight. China is buying a crap ton. 50% of our soybeans went to China. Now it's going to Argentina. Not only are they getting the crop sold and making a mint off of shit because Donald Trump is destroying our economy, and getting countries to buy other places. That's destroying our farmers and our economy here in America. They're gone probably for good. China is. So these farmers got to figure out something else to crop, because the soybeans ain't going to be one that they can sell. Okay? And then you're giving the same country that's failing 20 billion. Oh, and it's contingent on something. It's contingent on the Argentinian people electing this piece of crap to be its leader. Why would that be? Are we buying the country so that we buy the owner? He owes us money. He owes us favors. So whatever the hell we want, we get from him? How did Argentinian people feel about that? Not only do you have a leader that's running your country into the fucking ground, now you're getting a influx of money coming in like crazy, which is really, if I was you in that country, I'd be kind of scared about how is all these billions and billions of dollars coming in via this one dude. What do you owe for those billions? These people don't give up money for no reason. What is this man signing over for your country? Don't get excited, Argentinians. Don't get excited thinking that you got this money coming in and your economy's just going to flow. No, your economy's going to tank. But they're going to do something, either buy your land, change your name, do something and kick you out. Don't trust these people. They're not Americans. They're the colonizing kind. They're going to destroy your country any way they see fit. If this fool gets elected, y'all might as well say goodbye to Argentina. You're going to call that shit something else, Trumpia. Something's really crazy going on. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. I really don't. But for a president to come in talking about he wants to take over and basically we can't do without Greenland. We're going to have to take it. We just got to do it. I don't care. We have to go to war, whatever. We got to get it. We got to take it. Why do we need Greenland so bad? Even Americans don't even know why the fuck we need Greenland so bad. We ain't never talked about taking no other country, but all of a sudden this fool comes in, he needs Greenland. And then after that, he's talking about we're going to make Canada the 51st state. I'm like, what the fuck we need all these? Why are we purchasing places when we $37 trillion in debt? The fuck is your problem? I mean, I thought we didn't have no money, but somehow we buying countries. This shit don't add up. It just doesn't add up. Not unless y'all see something I don't see. I haven't calculated. It doesn't compute right now. We wanted, as soon as he got in, he wanted Greenland. 51st state was going to be Canada. Now he going out to Argentina like he wants to buy it. What are we doing? What is the Russ vote behind the scenes? What is he trying to do to this country? I don't know, but I hope the Democrats got a handle on this. I hope they start asking this question, not behind the scenes, because I'm pretty sure they're probably talking about it behind the scenes. You guys need to open your mouths in front of the people, because you need to get the people wondering, like, what is going on? Americans just want to live in peace, handle our business, pay off our debt, get an opportunity for the economy to build up, and Americans can do that. We don't need to go through all this extra bullshit you guys are doing. It's crazy how they can't get our health care taken care of, but they can go off wandering around trying to purchase properties and shit. Purchase countries. And then say, oh, it's the Democrats' fault that you don't have, it's going to, that the government's not open. They're the only ones that are in the way of you charging $15,000 all the way up to $27,000, $24,000 additional in healthcare, and you guys have no problems with it. MAGA, you are about to get blown the fuck up, and you sitting here listening to this fool. I don't know how many times I gotta listen. I understand you racist and why you're doing it. It ain't got nothing to do with that. You rather to go through hell and hot water to go there. You have no problem. You and the devil can shake hands and He can burn you up. You'll be fine. Like, okay, I'm eternally hateful. I get you. Yeah, that's your world. But I'm talking about the other ones who just thought it was just, I thought he was just going to make the eggs cheaper. That's what he promised. Yeah, that person. The fuck are you thinking? Your eggs, boy, you going to wish. I told y'all, I had no problem with Biden being the president. I'd take a Biden. I don't care if his brain was in a fucking jar. I'd take a Biden with his brain in a jar before I take an orange creep. Had no problems with it. You got caught up in, oh, he's old, but he's not stupid. The man is old, but not stupid. This man is old, dumb, orange, fake, rapist. He turned in a rat. He turned in, which I'm happy they did, but anyway, but he ratted out his friends, all that. Oh, and the girl, a 13-year-old girl called him a rapist. Well, she got raped at 13. She said it when she was an adult. His wife said he was a rapist. I mean, this dude cheated on his wife with a porn star raw dog while she was at home taking care of the baby. That little demon you set up on the top, not once. You voted for the fool 3 times. Your insurance is going to go up to $24,000 more than what it is. And you're going to sit here and be blaming the Democrats because you stupid. Because you stupid. You're going to think, well, it's the Democrats' fault that my insurance went up. Really? Really? They're the ones who passed the big, beautiful bill. And some of these people will be like that big, beautiful bill. I don't know why it passed. I don't know why the Democrats passed it. I promise you, there are some dipshit Republican MAGAs right now thinking that somehow, some way, the Democrats are the ones who are causing this health care to go up. Not because they did any research. Not because they can read worth a damn, no. Just because the orange fool told them so. And they out here professing it like it's a real thing. Gaslighting everybody. Mike Johnson out here closing down a session again. It's like, dude, you're the one. By far. The numbers are rising and rising. They're blaming the Republicans, and rightfully so. You can't tell me what I want to ask MAGA and Republicans something. You fought to get Donald Trump for some weird reason. Racism, I know for sure, but you fought to get Donald Trump the House, the Senate, the presidency. And then some of you were so happy about, again, that white supremacy shit, that you're white nationalists, that you not only gave him that, you gave him then the judicial, where they're majority Republicans in the Supreme Court. So now you got everything. You got the full house. The full house, yo. The only thing you can't give them is the 60 vote threshold, which means you got to get 10 Democrats to come over to your side. That's the only thing you can't control. You can't tell a Democrat to do shit. But you gave this man everything, the full house. And with the full house, your insurance is going up to $24,000 for some of you. And you're going to still think about how you then gave all the power to the Republicans. And all this shit is destroying your life right now. Your farms are fucking dying. You have to sell some of them. Your corn feed or your feed, all the stuff that your produce, all of it just rotten because you can't sell it to nobody. You gave the man full reign. How can you blame anybody else if you gave him exactly what the fuck he wanted? So all you can blame is yourself. You gave him everything. But to complain and act like it's a Democrat's fault for something that you literally put into play. And you're watching him. How many of y'all, when he first started doing this stuff, and it was against mostly Latin people and people of color, how many of these white people on fucking social media out here was like dancing and shit? I love Donald Trump. I love Donald Trump. All that shit. Excited. Next thing you know, your little white passing Latin wife is getting thrown out of the country. I didn't know that. What we going to do about it? You and your fake white Latin wife voted for the dunce. And now you got to sit here and have phone sex. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The only thing you haven't is air babies because you ain't going to have them no more because you got to go to another country. She's over there, you over here. Mm-hmm. That was you. You chose that life. You chose it. Your farm's falling apart. You chose it. JD Vance and his little group are buying up farms. If they cared about you, wouldn't they give you loans for the farms or something? Extend it so you can pay for it, or buy up your crops and sell them themselves or something, kind of help you out a little bit? Could they help you a little bit? Nope. They ain't trying to help you. It's sad. But they got $40 billion to bail out a country that's falling the fuck apart. Mm-hmm. But don't have $40 to give you. We don't have enough money. We don't have enough money. I want you to understand something. We went through COVID, like every other country. And somehow or another, we had enough money to pass out everybody some money to stay afloat because we couldn't go outside and do anything. Restaurants closed. We had all that. We had money to increase buying products and so forth, even though everybody in the world needed toilet paper. I don't know why everybody went crazy over toilet paper, but it is what it is. Things on the shelf, everything was kind of going high. You could only get a maximum of 2 or something and all this other shit. We went through 2+ years of that. Throughout that entire time, a $600 check here, a $1,200 check here. Every American that could apply for it got it. And then people who were already millionaires, billionaires, got PP loans. Right? Or the PPP, one of the loans. There was 2 types of loans that they got. One was for the employees and one for their business operations type of thing. And Marjorie Taylor Greene received millions. I think 3 to 6 million or something like that. 3 million, I believe. Yeah. Even the LA Lakers received millions of dollars. Somewhere between $3 to $5 million. And when people found out about it, like, Trick, y'all rich as fuck. You don't need that. Then she decided, well, we'll give it back. I didn't even know they filled it out. I call bullshit. You don't run a business and then be looking at somebody saying, you filed to get PPP. Are you out your mind? We're worth like $300 billion or some shit, and you really gonna take? But that's how they are. We'll send you to jail for it. And not unless you shame them, they wouldn't have took that check back. They would have kept that $5 million and went out and bought something stupid with it. They would not have said a thing if it wasn't released to the news that the LA Lakers received millions of dollars of PPP loans when they got crap tons of money. Basketball was still going on. Entertainment was still going on. Now, Vicky, she got issues too with it. We had Alice earlier. So I don't know if it's fixed up for Alice or not. But yeah, it looks like on my end, let me see what I got. Mine will tell me my health. That way I can. Excellent. Okay, we good. We good on my end. But thanks for keeping me abreast of all this, because I'll be talking, I'll look up, and I'll be like, oh shit, I'm gone. So I appreciate it. But anyway, we somehow got $40 billion to give away to a guy who held a concert. This dude held a concert and was singing like he's some star or something. And it's like, dude, run your country. Quit trying to be a rock star. Probably why your damn country going to hell. You ain't paying attention to what you need to be doing. But nope. Trying to, I guess, re-elect him or whatever. Trump is trying to get it done. Yep. So we got, and that dude is Argentina. And they're trying to increase our healthcare insurance. So I am happy that the Democrats did not fold. Chuck Schumer stayed strong, and y'all keep staying strong. I understand that people are gonna lose paychecks, but that's gonna be people who are working for the government. I get it, and that's a sacrifice that people do when they work for the government. That's what happens. But there are millions of Americans, tens of millions of Americans, that will be affected way longer. So we got to keep fighting. Dems don't fold. And I heard that the Grijalva lady, I don't know if they just threatened Mike Johnson with it. They're going to sue to try and get her in so they can, release the Epstein files. Because again, all these things they keep doing, in my opinion, is to divert everybody from these Epstein files. As long as you're talking about this sensational, outrageous craziness, Epstein files is far, far away from everything. So that's what I believe that's going on. Because when somebody brought up a name from the Epstein files, I want to say it's talking about, I'm not sure if they was talking about the woman that was with him or not, but they brought up somebody. We're dealing with the Epstein files. He act like, who's that? And I'm like, don't act like you don't know who the hell Epstein and them are. You know what I'm saying? Don't act like that. And that's what he acted like. I haven't heard that name in so long. What is wrong with you, bro? It's been less than what? You've been in for like 9 months? Dude act like he ain't heard her name in if it was a woman he's talking about, he ain't heard her name in like 20 years or so. I ain't heard her name in so long. Yeah, I don't know. It's just slow, y'all. He's slow. He try to act like he's stupid sometimes when he knows he's just trying to obfuscate. Like, oh, I don't know nothing about that. He'll even say, like, when they brought it to him, like, did you know that John Bolton got indicted, 18 counts, whatever? Well, this is the first I heard of it. Please. Once it was done, you can't tell me none of those sycophants didn't call you. Boss, I did exactly what you said. Yes, sir, boss. Yeah, I already talk to you later. You didn't tell me they did that shit. Of course they did. This man knew. Of course he did. Somebody just told him in front of a mic, the hell out of here. We've been noticing, like we've been talking about amongst us, about this, the Venezuelan boats. They killed some more people. Now here's the crazy part. I don't know how much they're intact, but they blew up another boat. And they attempted to kill everybody, and 2 survivors. The military got up to the ship, whatever, and got the survivors. You know what they called these survivors? Like prisoners of war. When did people notify us that we were at war with Venezuela or Venezuelan boats? When did that happen? I'm trying to figure out when we went to war with Venezuelan gangs, people, drug lords, or just boats. When did we go to war with them? So you blew up a drug lord's boat. Where are the drugs at? If 2 people survived, you can't tell me none of the drugs didn't. So where the drugs at? We didn't hear about them confiscating drugs. Just 2 humans, Venezuelans. And then you call them prisoners of war because you want to keep them captive because they're going to go tell everybody else, we didn't have any drugs. We was out here just night fishing. That's how crooked this presidency and his people are. They're literally unaliving people and acting as though it's okay to do. Justifying it. They have, not even to the American people, but not to the constituents in which we put in place that should know this information. None of the Democrats nor any of these Republicans, some of them are kind of speaking up. They don't know why we're killing Venezuelans and blowing up boats. They haven't been notified. When America end up killing other citizens from other countries which aren't in our country, they're not a threat to us because they're nowhere near us. Right? In these boats, they didn't say any of these boats were filled with weapons. They said drugs. But no proof. They're just killing Venezuelans. And then saying that these people are prisoners of war. So is Donald Trump, Republicans and MAGA, the guy who wanted to stop wars and have peace? He's killing people, more than likely innocent people, because even the military came out, ladies and gentlemen, not military, but it was one of the, I guess, lawyers. I guess it is the military. The lawyers, JAG or whatever it is, basically saying it appears to be illegal strikes. We don't know as to why. There's no justification for killing these people. We don't have it. It's the military lawyers. We have no understanding of what's going on here. So not only have they not told the Congress, the House and the Senate, who are equal with Donald Trump, equal powers, right? And they have not been notified that other countries have been getting, well, Venezuela has received deadly force with no justification to its own citizens, to its own leaders, to the other factions of our government, that they're not allowed to work without telling the other factions. But here's the thing, though. You got Marco Rubio in this little comment that he said, and they got it. I guess it was the Atlantic that got it, and this is on earlier today. I think it's on MSNBC the weeknight. We're going to look at the quote. All right. This is from the Atlantic, and it says, Senate of State Marco Rubio argues that the president has a right to eliminate immediate threats to the United States. Let's stop right there. They're not in Americans. They're not on our soil. They're nowhere near us. They're international waters. They're not headed toward anything at all. So you're telling us, you're not even saying they're loaded with any weapons. You're saying they're loaded with drugs. If they're loaded with drugs or even weapons for that matter, they don't have any that will reach America from the damn boat. And these are small fucking boats. I mean, quit gaslighting people. Like I said earlier, Donald Trump has something, and I mean some strong shit on these people. Because the things they're doing is so out of character. Or better yet, maybe it's in their character, but they were lying before when they were acting like they had some common fucking sense. But either way, it's out of the character from what we knew before. Marco Rubio, the dude he called Little Hands or Little Marco. This guy is such a sycophant now that he's coming out and telling everybody that the president has a right to eliminate immediate threats. Where's the threat? If anybody's a threat out there in them waters, it's American people, because it's not your fucking soil. And you're out here doing something when it ain't got shit to do with American people. You're trying to start a war, it appears. And you're starting this war terminology when Venezuela has never said they're at war with America whatsoever. They have never struck you. And if you're talking about like the cartels, if that's a part of a cartel that you want to say, the government doesn't run the cartel, do they? At least not in like Mexico and other countries. The cartel is on its own, and they try to run the country through fear and intimidation. but they're not the president, not the leader of the country. But I digress. I'm not an expert in Venezuela, but blowing up people without knowing who the hell they are should be a crime. It should make this man a war criminal because you starting a war without telling people they're in a war. You can't take people and call them prisoners of war when they've never done anything that we know of to attack America. Are you trying to say that drug dealers can't do drugs in their own country? I think that would be Venezuela that should be like arresting these people on boats that are trafficking in drugs. It should be their country, seeing as how it's international waters in their country. What in the hell do we have a jurisdiction to do? But they arrested or imprisoned 2 of them. And it's strange how leaders in the military are just leaving. They're like, I ain't fucking with this. What is this? I ain't got nothing to do with this. I'm out. Heads of and leaders within the military, admirals and shit like that. People like this are leaving because of this shit. That should tell you enough right there. People who got in position, who only been in their position for a few months, or less than a year or so. Less than a year, this guy got in, I think, right before Donald Trump became president. I can't remember his last name. It's a black guy, though. But he's one of the head people. I believe I saw him in a Navy uniform. And he only had that position for a short time. People who get that position usually have it for like 3 years minimum. And somehow, this dude like resigned, having to deal with this. I want you to understand something. People who spend their entire lives trying to become either generals or admirals or whatever, being in the military, they just don't quit to be quitting. They don't put too many years of their lives on the line. They quit for reasons most of the time for integrity in this situation. I'm not going to be held responsible or leaving the ball with me. I don't have immunity. I'm not going to sit here and kill Venezuelan citizens without justification. We don't know they got drugs. They know that they don't know that they got drugs, but they're still being told to fire upon people that just in the waters at night. What are they trying to deter? Are they really trying to stop these people from doing, bringing drugs to this country? Or are they trying to stop these people from witnessing what the hell Americans are doing out there in international waters, what they probably shouldn't be doing? But any witnesses are getting unalived. That's what I'm seeing, because it's like, why are you taking out people? You can easily say they had drugs on them and say, okay, then justify it. And then you cut off and you don't give any information. Nothing. I mean, even Bush, who effed up and said weapons of mass destruction, kept on saying evildoers, we're going to find them and all that shit. Didn't find jack shit. And now we out here in somebody else's waters, unaliving people and not telling the American people nor their elected leaders why we're doing it. Just doing it. The entitlement. It's crazy, y'all. See, but the targeted boats were all in international waters, many miles from American coast. They pose no threat at all, in that the Coast Guard could easily have done an interdiction, and certainly no immediate threat. Some of the boats didn't even have enough fuel to reach the United States mainland, my Atlantic colleagues recently reported. They were small boats. How the hell are they going to make it to the United States? The hell are you talking about? They have to reload somewhere. thank God I'm starting to hear more people say what we said before we heard anybody say it. There was 11 people or so on that first boat, and we all said this in here. Everybody agreed. If you're gonna be doing, you know, drugs on a boat, ship, whatever, you want more drugs, less people. Why? Because you can ship more. You got all these people, you can't ship as much. They're trying to maximize, not minimize. So if that were true, there might have been 2, maybe 4 people at most on that boat. Mm-hmm. 11 is way too much. So we all kind of know, and they came out and said today, even like it was on MSNBC, that is, and one of the experts, I guess, it doesn't make sense that if you're gonna have a drug truck, that drug boat or ship, that you have 11 people. It's just too many people. You have very few as possible. Makes sense. We said it. Now they're starting to say it. Hopefully it starts to ring louder and louder and be said more often on mainstream media, so that people can start to see the crack in their stories. It doesn't make any sense. And each boat has had a lot of people on it, and they had less than 11, but some of them, but more than what would be needed to carry a lot of drugs around. Now the last 2, I don't know how the government works or military works, because again, we know that they were alive. I would not put it past Donald Trump and their minions killing these people because they don't want them to be witnesses to what the hell they got to say. But let's see. Let's see if these JAGs and all stuff like that are literally going to protect these people away from our own government, or they're going to let our government do as they will. This is where, excuse me, this is where the integrity of our military will be tested. Meaning, I thought it was that you guys were taught that you do not have to take an unlawful order. Well, to unalive somebody because they saw you guys doing something illegal, or they were out in the waters doing what they want to do, and you guys just don't like Venezuelans, you're trying to start a war by doing stupid shit, whatever it may be, it's up to you guys to let the American people know that. I understand what you have to lose, but you're an American citizen. You're supposed to be fighting for, in the military, you're fighting for America. And you can see that Donald Trump and his minions obviously are not fighting for America. They're fighting for something that they want, not Americans. Because if Americans want it, we would know about it. And our leaders, you ain't got to necessarily tell us. Tell our leaders. Those are the ones that we sent there to get the information to get back to us. They are the ones empowered, equal branch of law, right, of the government, equal branches of the government. And one branch, the executive, is telling you to lie to the other or not even talk to the other branches. That's not how it's supposed to work. Just not. So we got to figure something out with that. Right, Alice, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled DJT is a king, a mad king, by giving him too much power. And I don't see what they stand to gain out of it other than money. And I really, I don't know. I need to do some research on it, to be honest. I don't know the life of Clarence Thomas, but something went wrong in this man's life. I mean, for him to hate on people who look like him so much is scary. I mean, he is really Steven and Django big time. And what does it take for a black man to turn to that? I don't know what in your life destroyed you internally that you look in a mirror and you wish hate on people who look like you. I mean, this man is so bad, he wants to bring back the Loving case and revisit that, and he's married to a white woman. I don't get that shit at all. I don't know. Maybe he just like Dave Chappelle's character. Maybe he think he white. I don't know. Delusional. I don't know what it is, but it's delusional. But that's what this nut job did. 100%. Put all of us in a situation where um, we're having to deal with the Loving case possibly coming back, women being able to vote. They already took women's bodily autonomy away, and they're going to go even worse. They're trying to take away vote, gerrymandering so much. They're trying to reverse certain aspects of the civil rights laws and the movement that people died for. It is it's sad, but again, how are we fighting this? It's like on every level these people are attacking, and we're just sitting here hoping and praying that the Supreme Court justices are saying, nope, can't do it. But what if they say yes? That's the tough one. That's the real tough one. But we got to do what we got to do. We got to do what we got to do. That's why I look at it. And it's tough to be able to deal with that on a day-to-day basis. Now, yeah, it needs to be voted out. We also need to get there's another amendment I just heard somebody tell me about. I can't remember right now, so I won't be able to share it with you. But the 25th Amendment is one. There's another one. I'm trying to remember what it is, but they were talking about how you can get Donald Trump out of office without having to be the 25th Amendment. But I'll look it up and I'll share it with you probably next week. But I just heard it, so I really haven't looked all the way up. Vicky, I as another, it was gonna be my kicker at the end of what you just said, is that yes, it is true that it is very true that George Santos was released from jail. Donald Trump did that. I just I mean why did that need to be done? I mean, what does he has to offer the party? I mean, the dude is out of office. I mean, he was broke because he stole money. He was a grifter, all that. He doesn't get his job back. So I'm trying to figure out, you got this criminal out of the office who was buying shoes and OnlyFans and shit like that with the donations and money that he received. How is this law and order party? When everybody who breaks the law, as long as you like Trump, you can get out. Sound like selective criminality to me. It's like, oh, crimes are from people who do stuff against me, Donald Trump. But if he does it against other people, that person got to go to jail. But if he does it against me, if he does, well, first of all, if he does it against me, he got to go to jail. But if he doesn't do it against me, and he does it for me or in the name of me, you can come out. It's just weird. Yeah, John Brown, Stephen Miller, hateful, very hateful person. I don't know. I look at these things. I'm like, man, in your lifetime, what pissed you off? I mean, what happened to you that turned you into such a hateful shit? Because at some point in time when these kids were little, they played with everybody. But somebody had to train them to be this evil. And then once they got this feeling of evil, they fell in love with it and mastered it. These people are demons on earth. Ain't nothing godly about them. Ain't nothing heavenly about them. Ain't nothing nice about them. In their world, you have to accept the fact they're tyrants. That's why they're trying to say there's no kings protest tomorrow in my area. There's a few places in California. I'm going to one here, not too far away from me. I think it starts at 11 tomorrow, 11 to 1 Pacific Standard Time. But I hope this turns out to be one of the biggest ones ever. They said it's supposed to be, but I hope it does. He said MTG would be indicted soon, Scott. I would not doubt it because she's going against the grain. Like, again, her going against the grain. And like I said, I'm surprised they haven't put a hitman out on fucking Michael Wolff because that dude would be letting it out. And he got like the facts on him, you know what I mean? And Donald Trump can't mess with him. Not at all. When you start to see that, you start to realize he must be telling the truth. Because he can't sue him. Because if he sues him, he has to have discovery. The fact will come out that he's probably right. That's why he's got him. And that's why I appreciate watching that. I appreciate watching that big time. Who else we got? We got this was I don't know if you guys saw Kristi Noem. I saw it the other day. I didn't get a chance to speak on it. She is out at you notice like Kristi Noem does a lot of cosplay. When she goes out to the border, she dresses like a border agent. She doesn't come as an official dressed up in a nice suit or, slacks, dress, whatever. She doesn't come out like that. No. She cosplays. She literally goes out and puts on the same gear that the people who are in the military or who's on the border, what they're wearing. She got an exact tailor fit outfit just like them. Badge and everything. Everywhere she goes. When she's out with immigration, dressed like them. Has a weapon and everything. Takes a picture with the gun in her hands. Cosplay. Every fucking time. Right? And then she decided to get on camera and shoot a promo like when you see on the airport. So she could blame Democrats for what's going on at the House and the Senate for them to come together to protect our health care. She's blaming it on the Dems. And what's so crazy about it, and you can see her actually say what she has to say, she's acting all super nice. This is the other day I think it was on All In with Chris Hayes, but let's get it.
Hi, I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. It is TSA's top priority to make sure that you have the most pleasant and efficient airport experience as possible while we keep you safe. However, Democrats in Congress refuse to fund the federal government, and because of this, many of our operations are impacted.
She sent that out and requested that every airline actually puts that up so that Americans flying back and forth, going wherever, that they can have promotion to show, hey, it's the Dems' fault. While you're a trapped audience inside of a plane, the Dems' fault. Can't leave for a few hours. It's the Dems' fault. Depends on how many times they try to program people with this propaganda. You can see that over 40 of these airlines, some you know, some you may not know, all decline, refuse to run their political act, mainly because there's such thing as the Hatch Act. You're not supposed to be able to do anything governmental in like a public setting. You can't do anything like, far for the government, you can't have politics and send it out to people and say, okay, let me be partisan coming from the government. The government is supposed to be, once you get elected, That shit's gone. You're supposed to be working for the people. Donald Trump and the Republicans break these rules every day. You're supposed to be working for the people. It's not a political job. It is the government. That's why when every president before Donald Trump would say, I know I'm in the Democratic Party or Republican Party, but I'm the president for everyone, for all Americans. That's not Donald Trump. He's not the president for the Dems. I want you to know the majority of Americans are Democrats, or at least swing that direction. That they have more people who are signed up, let's put it that way. So if more Democrats are signed up in this country than Republicans, by far, if everybody who's registered as a Democrat went out and voted Democrat, and everybody who's registered Republican went out and voted Republican, Republicans would never win another election. They don't have enough people. That's why they need division, so that they break up our core of Democrats, whether it be liberal all the way to damn near Republican conservative. They got to break up this group of people so that it moves down below what they have. If they break this group up and it gets underneath, these people fall in line. They vote no matter what for their party, and therefore destroy the country if they must, because they're not smart enough to realize that you need to vote for actual things that benefit you and your family, and not just voting for a party. Didn't bother to vote. 90 million didn't bother to vote in 2024. Need we say more? Okay, Scott, that's what I'm saying. You're right. If we had more Democrats who had signed up vote, we would have won. But, and if we stop listening to how they want to divide us, if we don't have a united front on democracy, then they have a united front on dictatorship. That's all it is. Regardless of your individual issues you may have, your individual sexism, racism, xenophobia, whatever power trip, whatever ism you have in your spirit, if you rely on that, in which they rely on you being tricked into putting that in front of your own best interest, then you start to see that your life changes for the worse. And who do you have to blame? They'll have you blame the person you hated or the people you hate. But in reality, it's you. It is you who have made that decision. You're the one that decided to elect somebody that continues to divide the country. And whenever you're empowered, like Democrats are empowered, you'll still have that same party not trying to work with that party to do better for the country. They're always trying to divide everybody so that you don't do well for the country. It's whenever Republicans are in, they want the Democrat person to fail. Just 100%. Even if they coming up with bills that help them, they don't care. When Obama came up with Obamacare, which was Affordable Care Act, and they labeled it Obamacare to destroy it, he came up with it. Why couldn't they just roll with it and try and make it better? Back then, what you don't like about it, we can fix. We care about all people and people's health. So if there's a problem with this aspect of it, then we can work on tweaking that. And then we can tweak this part, then we can tweak this part, and we can make it better for all Americans instead of trying to destroy it. How does that work, Republicans? Nope, don't want it. Don't want it. It's Obamacare. It's actually Affordable Care Act. Nope, it's Obamacare. And Mitch McConnell and all of them played that Obamacare thing and destroyed a lot of people's minds on the programs. A lot of people wouldn't even take it. They went on continue paying the high-ass health care because they didn't want to get nothing from a black man. Then when they found out their next-door neighbors were paying 1/8 of what the fuck they were paying, oh, I'll get on the ACA. They divided their brain up and thought the ACA was different than Obamacare. The mental gymnastics. The mental gymnastics. Planet Waterbook, ACA is a blessing. Is. If anybody, you know, if you have a business or anything like a small business or even for your own family, I've had it, and excuse me, and to be honest with you, I've had multiple insurance, and once I got like the ACA, um, I when Obama first came, the ACA first came out, I wasn't on it. I didn't sign up for it or anything like that. I had a stereotype in my head thinking that it was going to be, um, like, you know, less quality insurance. It's gonna be good, but it's gonna be less quality, meaning that my doctors were gonna be, because this is what they were filling people's heads up with, is that your doctor, you're not gonna be able to keep your doctor, the price is gonna skyrocket, um, you know, all these different things are gonna happen to you and all that. So I had a small business and I didn't want to, you know, I was gonna get my health care through that instead of the job I was working. And I was like, I get it from the work. And then I said, you know what? Let me see what this ACA is about. So I went and filled it out, did all this stuff, and my health care was way lower than my when I was going through the job getting that health care. My health care was way lower. And I'm sitting there like, how are they pulling this off? And so I called and dealt with, you know, different things and figured it out. And healthcare, I find, like I said, I had healthcare where I was paying thousands of dollars for me, my daughter, and my son. When I was married, my wife as well. But I got divorced, it was just me, my daughter, and my son. And I was paying for us. I was paying thousands of dollars for three people. They were kids at the time and one adult. And my daughter has diabetes type 1. And so we had a lot of stuff we had to take care of. Thousands of dollars, I'm like, cool, whatever. But then, you know, one of my businesses failed. I had to sell that and deal with a lot of that stuff. Again, went through divorce. I said, you know what? I'm not gonna spend thousands of dollars. See if I can get on this ACA. See what it's like until whatever. And I was already getting on, a different other type of healthcare. I just got lesser healthcare. And so when I finally got onto the ACA and got qualified and all stuff like that, I felt bad because I was like, man, my doctor's not gonna be bad. It might be good. My daughter needs a good, doctor for what she's got going on. And I didn't feel well about it. I'm not gonna lie. At the very beginning, I was like, But I promise you, that health care was the best health care, and I spent thousands of dollars for what was considered health care. Back in the day, man, had all this, these businesses going and working for this major corporation, making, six figures and all this stuff. Nice, car and all that. It's, just living it up. My health care was insane. But I was like, I need that because, I take care of my daughter and I can go here and go anywhere, just about anywhere in the country and stuff like that. We went out of the country, I can go certain places. I was like, I'm good. But when I got the ACA, y'all, I'm going to tell you, I went to my doctor and I can tell you this. I was highly impressed and pissed off at the same time. Because I've told this story to many people. I may have told you this before. I walked in and they treated me like a king. Y'all ain't hearing me. 2 doctors stepped out on me. Sat down right one beside me and the other's next. I'm sitting like, what? Feel like I'm about to get jumped by 2 doctors. I'm like, what's up with y'all? Y'all trying to get blood or some shit? I'm sitting there like, what do they need? And they're like, how are you doing? I'm like, I'm good. You're not my doctor, and she's not my doctor. I'm like, what's going on? They're like, we just checking on you. Everybody in the waiting room, we just check on, see how everybody's doing, especially when we see a new face. We haven't seen you before. You want anything to drink? I was like, okay. We got water, this and that. I'll take water. One stays with me. The lady stayed with me. Was talking to me, just chatting up about regular life shit. And the dude comes back with the water. Cold bottle of water. Here you go. I lie to you not. I felt like I was getting courted. I was like, man, this. This must feel like when a guy is giving like woman much attention and she likes the dude or whatever, and she's like, oh, I like this guy. He's being a gentleman. I had never been treated like that by a insurance company, but a healthcare facility in my life. I was like, what the hell? And I was paying like 1/15 of what I was paying before. And I was like, you mean to tell me spending all that money was a fucking facade? I can get all this here? Brand new building. These two doctors that ain't even my doctor coming out and saying hello to me, bringing me water and shit. I was like, I got all this. I'm like, man, I was excited and appreciative and shitty at the same time. I didn't show them the shitty part. I showed them all like, thank you. I left out of there. I'd be damned if I didn't spend tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars on health care. Thinking I was Mr. It and shit with the health care I was paying for. And I never got treated better until I was on the ACA. I was like, man, these people. Public option compete with private insurance. They didn't do it. Like Scott, they should have added that. All this time we had 10 years to make this shit better. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even gonna lie. I couldn't even tell you how it could get better on my end. You know what I'm saying? I didn't. I was, I'm 54. I was raised in an era where, you work your butt off to get the best health care that you can get. We didn't have no free health care. So, you thought paying a lot of money for health care, you was being treated like a king or a queen. I was not. With that money that I was paying, I was in this higher echelon. And when I went in, a lot of these white doctors looked at me like, why you here? Or how'd you get in here? I'm like, that's the way many doctors treated me. Or I would have doctors when I had high expensive, I'm gonna share some tea that I don't usually deal with tea. I'm a coffee guy anyway, but I'm gonna tell you how I dealt, how I've had high insurance, like the upper tier insurance I was paying crazy money for before ACA, and what quality of doctors I literally received with that, right? There's two doctors. One doctor, I was looking for a new doctor for some reason. I moved out of a certain area and I didn't want to go far to where my doctor was at. I moved far out, like a good 40 to 50 minutes away from my other place. So let me get this other doctor. So I go to this doctor who's not too far away from me, just to get a physical, sign up and get a physical check with this doctor and just, check him out. I get there, the dude's an older dude. And then by then I was probably in my mid 30s. So he had to at that time be in his I would say late, maybe 60s, maybe early 70s, whatever. So he was older to me at that time. I walk in, he's cracking a few jokes. I like to laugh, so I'm laughing and shit like that. He said, what you here for? I said, just a physical, man. I'm looking for new doctors and stuff. He said, yeah, you an insurance plan, you fill out all the paperwork. And I sat down on his table. And this man took one of those little metal things with the little rubber triangle in it for the reflexes and shit. I'm sitting there, he taps my knee, and it doesn't move. And I'm like, and here's the thing. I done had this happen to me. You had to know. About 30-some years old, I had good insurance when I was a kid. My mom worked for the hospital, so I got a lot of really good doctors. So I done got hit in the knee a plethora of times, right? So he hits me in the knee in the wrong spot. I'm like, the fuck you trying to get out of that? I'm looking at him. He hit me. I look at him. He hit me again. I look at him. I said, what'd you get out of that, doc? He said, yeah, your reflexes, not as good as they should be at this age, but they're okay. I was like, could you do that again and hit me like right here? And he's like, why to do that? I said, just try it for me. Boom, foot kicked up. I was like, in the same spot in the other knee. Boom, kicked up. I said, my reflexes are good, bro. I mean, what? He said, I was just playing with you. Huh. All right. Then after that, He did one other thing. I can't remember. Oh. He took my blood pressure with his hand, put his hand on my thing, and the blood pressure machine is right here, right over there. He grabs my hand the old school way, does this, and looks at his watch. Okay, do your thing. And he's like, all right, you good. I said, Doc, full examination. He said, how old are you? I said, I'm 30 something. I don't know if it's 35, whatever. He said, yeah, you good. You don't need all that. I said, but you going to charge me for all that. I need all that. Blood tests and everything, bro. What we doing here? You got to do that. Maybe next time. Boy, I was like, you know what? Forget it. I never came back. That was high insurance, y'all. I was spending thousands upon thousands of dollars for that. Not same doctor, but same company, same spending thousands of dollars. I had back surgery in my 30s, and and I had a microdiscectomy, but I messed my back up somehow. Didn't even know how it happened. And I was with this doctor, and this doctor was telling me, hey, go get, therapy and stretch out. I'm like, Doc, it just ain't happening. I don't know what's going on, but it's tight and it's killing me. I don't think that's it. He's like, well, we're going to go through that. So, you go through a bunch of crap. So he took me through that not chiropractor, but therapy. I went there a few times. I'm like, yo, the first time it worked, felt good for like half the day. Second time, it was like an hour or so later. Third time, I'm like, dude, I left out in more pain than I came with. I said, so this ain't working. So then he sent me some other place. He still did not know. On top of that, knowing, I found this out later, but knowing that it was a muscular situation, he sent me for an x-ray. Anybody in here a nurse, doctor, or learn it? This dude sent me for an x-ray for muscular situations. Nothing was wrong with my bones. Nothing was broken. X-rays are for bones, not muscle tissue. That's an MRI. This man sent me, then looked at my bones and said, yeah, it don't look like you pulled anything. I promise you, I felt like the Mo, Larry, and Curly moment. I just wanted to slap him on the back of his head. Just, like, get the fuck up out of here, man. Who told you was a doctor? Right? I didn't do that. I just looked at him strange. I'm like, pain continued. I didn't get an operation until after 8 months of going through this, but I was going to my doctor like every fucking few weeks or whatever, because he wasn't that far away from my home. And one day I come into the doctor's office. I said, man, my back is killing me. We just need to see, a doctor that, look at my back, man. And I said, I looked it up. I need an MRI. The muscle's a muscle. I said, and I came to him. I said, Doc, after doing much research, I think it's my L5-S1. He was like, why would you say that? That sounds specific. I said, I looked it up. He's like, let's think about that. And this fool went and got a huge, like, Doc Baker book. You know who Doc Baker is, right? From Little House on the Prairie. This fool act like I just brought him a chicken to help me. Like I was bartering with him. I said, hey, here's Ned, the chicken. Come over here. Brought me this huge book. Dr. Bible. He cracks his shit open, yo. Kept going through it. I lie to you not, while he's reading. Got his glasses on. I got glasses. Got his glasses on, looking down like this and shit. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Carry one. Yep. Look like you got an L5-S1. I like to slap the teeth out his mouth. I was like, you had to go through this book? Boy, I promise you. High. I was paying health insurance like insane at that time. Thinking I was on the top tier shit. That platinum plus type shit. My job was paying for part of it, and I was paying the other. Still high. And those are the type of doctors I had, yo. And I thought I was up to, I was just like, maybe I just got some bad ones. Mm-mm. The best one I got is nowhere near like the doctor I got on the ACA. Nowhere near. I love my doctor. Me and my doctor talk about life like on a regular basis. My doctor's a doctor and a therapist at the same time. We be therapizing both of each other. If I tell him about his life, oh yeah, he really therapizing the word I made up, so shut up. But I'm sitting here like going back and forth talking about his life. He talking about my life. Oh, you divorced? No, I'm divorced. I mean, how you feeling? I'm good. No kind of conversation like that with my doctors before. Not one. And I pay so little now. I feel like I'm robbing the system myself. I'm like, man, this is great. Now you're gonna tell me for that same healthcare insurance, now it's gonna cost me up to $13,000 or $24,000 more a year? That's insane. That's insane, yo. So I feel bad for those who are gonna have to go through this, including myself to some degree. I haven't even looked at it. October 15th was the day that it opened up in California. So you can go check out what, if you want to increase your health or keep the same health care or increase it or whatever it may be, check out what the price is going to be on by December 31st that you're going to have to pay to have health care on the 1st. Please, if you do have the ACA, maybe if you know, don't even worry about the ACA because I think it's going to harm everybody. But the ACA, yours may go up just a little bit if yours is already high, if you wasn't on the ACA. But if you were, that extra money that they had in there is going to hurt. And again, so unfortunately, what you say, great health insurance would be abused by doctors. Yeah, you can't really beat the system at all. You know what I'm saying? Not for us. We trying to beat it. Like I said, I am like happy with my doctor. It's the first time in my life that I've really been happy with my doctor. I spent a shit ton of money, and I spent, in the pocket I am now. I'm highly appreciative, no complaints about it. Like I said, I have conversations with my doctors. My doctors before, they were rip-off artists. They were taking so much money, the insurance company was, and putting these whack-ass doctors on the list. It was such a gamble with them. Every one of my doctors, when I had high insurance, were terrible doctors. I was always trying to get that doctor when I was a kid. My mom worked at a hospital. And I had this one black doctor who was just so nice and kind. I was a kid. He was always my favorite doctor. And, I was trying to get that connection again. And I got it now. And it took me thousands of dollars a month less. I was like, man, these people. But anyway, that's that little side story about that. I feel bad at what's going to happen because there's so many people who are just going to fall off insurance, and I don't know what mine's even going to be. I might even fall off if it ends up being $24,000 more a year. Oh yeah, I might have to find something else to do. $24,000 more than what I'm paying? Can't do it. As a matter of fact, I won't do it. And the thing is, you're gonna have terrible insurance if you don't. All right. But no, Christy No was defeated on that, trying her best to get the Democrats at fault for this. What this comes down to is that our leaders are destroying our lives. And we should be the most important thing because we're the ones that keep them in power. We're the ones that vote for them. We're the ones that put money and donate for them. And then they get to where they are and be like, oh, well, I got this pack or that pack giving us tens of thousands, if not millions of dollars to vote one way. And then you got all of us giving you tens of thousands and millions of dollars collectively. And you're supposed to vote another way for us. And you choose to vote a lot of times alongside of what the billionaire wants or the lobbyist wants. which highly sucks because it took us to get you into office. And you're supposed to be loyal to us because we're the ones that voted for you to get you in. And then when you get in, you're connected to them. I saw I'm gonna kind of leave with this. It was I'm trying to remember which senator it was. Corey. I think it was Corey. Let me look it up real quick. Give me a second. I think it was him, Senator Cory Booker. I want to say it was him that he was being interviewed by the young. It's another lady, two ladies that do a show, a podcast, and I think Five Alarm Fires told me about them before. I've seen a little bit of their stuff, but she's getting a lot of opportunities to be on like CNN and other places. But she got an opportunity to interview Cory Booker, white lady, blonde, and she really gets into people. Um, and I think it's ILH or something like that, the name of the show, whatever. Um, and she asked Cory Booker straight up question. She said, you know, is Benjamin Netanyahu like a terrorist or something like that? Not terrorist, but um, a war criminal, right? And Cory Booker was like, and went around the corner between the trees, around the block, over the hill, to find, Dora the Explorer and shit. You'd be like, dude, it's a simple question, yes or no. He would not answer that shit. He would not answer it. And that's what again, I respect this lady because she literally said that's the problem we have and we face is that the leaders that we put in, when things are even obvious, a yes or no question, you guys can't answer it. It's just too easy to know that he is a war criminal. And because she didn't say this, but because AIPAC put money in your pocket, you choose not to say the facts. Why? We can't trust that. I don't understand how these senators and people who are supposed to be in power that got elected, how don't they see that it's your constituents that get you into office, not the billionaire? They may give you extra money, but you need to be beholden to your constituents. And the majority of your constituents know for a fact that Benjamin Netanyahu is a war criminal. You can't tell me he did the shit he did, and you can't think of that as like a crime to do. Yet every country in the UN basically said he is, and searching for that fool. When he reaches their soil, if he ever touched their soil, he's under arrest. Here, we're just letting him just touch our soil, talk to people, get in front of mics and cameras and shit, act like he's a cool dude. He's not. And people like Cory Booker and the rest of them that they can't say anything bad about him or AIPAC, they're receiving money for it. Again, it is the people that vote you in, and they feel like you guys are selling us out because you may even have our own skin color, or you may have our own ideals, or laws, or our best interests at heart. You really want health care. You want those things. And I understand sometimes you got to be able to negotiate with people to get things done. We're not trying to negotiate anything with AIPAC, with Benjamin Netanyahu. And you still can't just tell the truth. That's why Mamdani looks good. And Democrats, y'all need to wake the hell up and understand, regardless of whatever thing he says he is, what he is showing people is he's honest to them. Will he be able to accomplish all his goals? Not with all the haters, because he can't be the only sole vote. He may vote for our best interest, but for his constituents' best interest. But we got 49 others. Well, he's going for the House or the Senate, whichever one I forgot. But he's got hundreds of others in the House. He's got 49 others in the Senate. So at least. So you guys sit here and say, can he really make much change? Maybe not. But what he can be is a voice for the American people. Let that man get in there and start speaking like us to these people. Oh, yeah. It's going to be a wrap for the Cory Bookers. It's going to be a wrap for all the rest of y'all. If you guys keep talking the way you talking and allowing Donnie to continue to speak the way he speak, Democrats, he going to be the next president. He's going to be the next president. Why? Because none of y'all got enough balls to talk back to Donald Trump the way he does. None of y'all got enough balls to tell American people that you're going to fight for everybody the way he does. You guys don't have enough balls to sit here and say F you to the donors and say I love you to the voters. If you don't have that, this man's going to blow y'all out the fucking water. Now, I don't know this man full on, even to tell him Donnie. You're going to have to learn some shit too in that sense. If you are fighting for the people, which it seems like you are, if you get elected and start acting like them, you ain't got that long of a career yourself, bro. Americans are getting tired of liars, snake oil salespeople. And if you keep on saying you're going to do shit and then turn around and do the opposite, you ain't going to last long either. So either you down or you not. And that's what I'm saying to you, Cory Booker. You may be a good person in person. I don't know you like that. But as a politician, you're starting to look very shady. And if you don't want to look shady, you need to stand up for the people and stop saying the shit that you say. You sitting here talking about you don't know if somebody's such and such. It reminded me of the thing I didn't like about Kamala Harris. When she got asked that question, was this a racist country? She said no. After trying to walk around it a little bit and look at the other side of it and trying to force feed, what real shit is to racist white people or people that she may think that she need to vote from. I don't want to vote for somebody that wants me to lie about this damn country so that they can feel good about it. Then I'd rather lose. I don't want to win something because I got to lie to you and then tell you another lie, and tell you another lie. I'd rather tell you the truth and tell you this. If you can't handle it, get the fuck up out the kitchen. And if you don't like the truth, why the hell are you going to be in a country? Just to listen to the lies of it? Or are you going to listen to the truth of it? Our darkness lies in the lies of this country. And that might be every country, but I can only speak about this one. The darkness in this country lies within the lies. Bring the lies to light and bring the truth to light and douse out these lies, we have a better country. You can't solve something that you keep acting like is not there. Racism there, xenophobia is there. All of these things are there. How do we get past them? We recognize them. We understand that they don't represent everybody in this country, but they are citizens of this country. They pay taxes like everybody else, and they get the same rights as everybody else. You don't get to sit here and take their rights away. They're not breaking any laws. Criminals is a whole other story. They break the laws. We do have rules for that. But if we can't get there, this country is going to never be a great country. It's going to always be striving to be something that's better than it was before. But what that better may mean may be white supremacists, or it might mean, another faction that just pops up, instead of it meaning all American citizens, Americans that are being productive for the country that they love, getting a job, buying a home, buying a car, being productive, offering opportunities to people, offering a service or skill that you have to make your country better. That's all we need. We don't need all this, I want to be a dictator and I want to be the richest man on the freaking planet and do what with it? It's crazy how people talk about they want to be rich. And I'm like, look at Elon Musk, Bill Gates, and all that. They are rich, but what are they doing with their money? I know they say like, oh, they're donating this, they're donating that, da, 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 and they're helping out with diseases, and that's Bill Gates and all that. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about what are they doing for the American citizens? Not people who are sick, not people who have, whatever, disease or mental illness or other countries that are dealing with starvation and nothing like that. No, I'm talking about American citizens who are buying your products, who are paying taxes, who are here. What are you doing for the people who are creating the wealth for you? If you say nothing, what's the use of being rich if all you're going to do is just buy shit for yourself and just, I'm going to get all this money. And I'm just going to buy this crib, I'm going to buy this, I'm going to buy that, and just keep building money, money, money. For what? The rest of the world's falling apart. You're rich. Whoopee. Money don't mean anything at this point. Without a thriving economy, it don't mean shit. So it's better to take care of the country you love and do the right things than to F her up just because you just like, I want to be the only one rich and everybody else broke. I don't see what we get out of that. I don't see what this country gets out of that. Sounds very selfish and not like the me thing or the we thing, brother. It sounds like a me thing. So anyway, that's the way I see it. As always, I'm working on programs and things of that nature for us to help one another. Still waiting on the smartwatch to see what the quality is. I'm not promoting any smartwatches that I can buy unless they're good quality and I've tested them out. But I'm going to start with a smartwatch because your boy is trying to get in shape. So I might as well just start with things that I want. And if they're really good, then I'll offer them to other people. And then that will be a situation where I call partners. We'll share in the actual money that every time I sell something to you, you get a piece of it too. So it's like, and it'll be cheaper than anybody else's product. But either the same quality or better quality than somebody else's product. It's not like I'm gonna sell this at the same price and their shit is like far superior than mine. So I gotta do my homework. But the reason why I'm doing that is because I believe in we and not the me. If I'm going to go out there and source stuff, of course I need to make money for what I do. But at the same time, why not give back to the people who are supporting me? It's a we thing. You're helping me, I'm helping you. Each person. So hey, it is what it is. So that to me is something that I think the way capitalism should work. Because what's the use of me getting like crazy wealthy and the people who are buying my product are broke? It doesn't make any sense. Counterproductive. And they're not getting any kind of either, if they don't have enough money to buy stocks in the companies or, buy their own thing or even start their own company up. We got to stop relying on this government because this government don't care about you. We got to get enough power in economics. Not everybody wants to be rich, don't get me wrong, but just enough that, poverty is not something that our government can force on us. It's something that we can start to shift around. If we stop buying just from the billionaires, we can be able to level off some of this wealth. We keep on asking them to pay their fair share. It ain't happening. As you can see, this country keeps giving them every opportunity to F over the masses. So it's time for the masses to figure it the fuck out. Say, you know what? I don't need this particular brand that you're selling me for $300-$400 when I can get it through what I call partners, through partners for $150, and I get $25 every time I buy one. So why the hell do I need to buy from you? I don't get nothing out of it. You tell me, oh, you can save $25. Fuck all that save shit. Make $25. If you're gonna tell me I can save $25 off of that, then give me the $25. I don't want you to tell me I paid $175 for it when it was really $200. Give me $25. I'll buy it for $175. I'm saying whatever, maybe I'll buy it for $200. So these are the types of things that I'm talking about, and it can shift the way capitalism works for Americans, right? And therefore, not buy from the billionaires. If more of us start to do that, and we can be able to start to source different products, good products, not just I want to make money. No, good products, because we got to get. I'm telling people, the quality in which you love in a product. Let's just pick the quality of whatever product that you love and probably paid the most expensive thing in your home for. I promise you, you can get that exact same quality, if not better, without that name on it. Exact same quality without better. And they didn't steal no patent in this situation. This is literally a different looking purse or close to it with no name on it. It's not Gucci on there, not calling it Poochie. It's not that at all. It is just a cut of a certain type of either whatever it may be. I remember when I made, like I said, I made designer shoes. I came up with a new technology way back in the day. It's been out now, but and I went and got it sourced in China and other countries too. Brazil was one, and the leather I got from Italy. It cost me for a swatch. It's like three, not a swatch, but it's like I guess it's like a yard. I guess, but it's like 3 feet by 3 feet. So that was what it was. That shit back then, it cost me like $150 or something like that, which I could make like eight pairs of shoes or some shit like that. But I had a swatch, like a little small square of the leather. I love the new smell of leather and suede. And I went to the stores in LA, all these high-end stores, Melrose Place and stuff like that. Other places, they had some at this mall. I forgot what the name of the mall was. But I walked in and I'm sitting here like with the swatch in my hand. I'm rubbing it and I'm going over here. I'm like rubbing it. And then I rub the leather. Rub this, then rub the leather. I'm like, this shit trash. This literally this $1,600 shoe, that leather is complete trash. That's not leather. This is leather. That's not. That's. I don't know what the hell that is, right? And then people say, "Oh, well, you got to cure it and everything like that. It's not gonna be hard like that," and blah blah blah. And I said, "I get it." But when I got my shoe, I made like 6 shoes. When I got my shoes, the difference between what the leather was before it got cured and all stuff like that, and the leather and the suede, when I touched it, it was still softer, and than what was in the store. I went to those same stores and had on my shoe. Took off my shoe just to touch the leather. Hmm, hmm. Nah, my shoe is way better. Whether you talk about design or not, you didn't like design, that's fine. But when you talk about the leather and the suede and the quality of it, way better. I spent like $100, 150, 100 something like that with the shipping and everything for that one swatch. That leather and suede superior than any brand that they're selling on the stores. Any brand, Louis Vuitton, all that shit, touch that crap compared to, and I know it breaks people's heart because they love their brands, but it's crap. They got people believing that it's the greatest quality. No, go grab it. I tell you, buy your own leather directly from a warehouse from Italy. If it's Italian leather, buy it from Italy and see the quality. Don't buy no crappy leather. Buy the highest quality leather you can get from Italy and then match it up to theirs. You'll see that their grade is nowhere near top tier, but they're charging you top tier prices. That's why I say if Americans wake up and stop being the patsy, because that's how billionaires created this wealth gap. They made you guys believe the crap that we're buying was so expensive, and they're getting it in China for $15, $1,500, selling it to us for hundreds of dollars and thousands of dollars. Wake up. If we did that, we can displace the wealth from them without asking them to give us shit. Just start buying products through people who are literally giving a damn about people who care about capitalism and care about people. And we can make that happen. That's what I'm doing. I'm working on that. So I'll let you guys know. All my doctors are black from Egypt or from Egypt. All right, cool. How'd that work out for you? I mean, I don't know. Mine's black too, but I don't know. I haven't had a lot of black doctors. I did have one African doctor. He was cool. One thing about him though, he smelled really good, very good. I don't know what he had, like some kind of essential oils or something. But he was a good doctor. But my doctor from this right now, from that is way better. Yeah, I'm about to get on TikTok here. We got to go to the show right now. Two requests, like DJ is saying, if you want to come over there and listen to old school music. I'm about to get off here and go over there. Again, you can support the show, become a member. We continue to grow and do things. Keep prayers up for Five Alarm Fire. I haven't seen him in a minute, at least a few shows or so. I know his daughter was wrong, and he had also been dealing with some back issues, I believe. Also, prayers still up for DJ and your family. And anybody else, keeping those positive thoughts out there for you. If you don't believe, I'm totally for any whatever you believe in. I don't say like no devil or nothing like that, but whatever positive thing you believe in. But I appreciate you guys coming. You guys have a good night. You say I'm scared of TikTok. I don't blame you. People have been scared of TikTok for a minute. I'm like, I don't get too. Everybody tells me I don't really get too scared of a lot of things because I'm like, you know what? It is what it is. I ain't got nothing to hide. And again, it doesn't even matter anything to hide because if they really want you, they'll make some shit up on you. I know that for a fact. But I choose to live, happily and not afraid of anything. And maybe I should be, but I'll stay in that naive world because I'm happier there. But I get it when people don't. No judgment. I understand it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you guys. You guys have a great weekend. I'm going to go ahead and do the show here. And we got one on Sunday where we watch an old school movie on TikTok. Yeah, so that's what we do. You guys have a great night. All right. And I'll see you on Monday. Keep in mind also next week, I will be on Friday. I don't know for sure. Yeah, I'm going to leave. So Friday, I may not have a show next week. I'm going to Texas for my TikTok music group, Chocolate Music Lab. We're going to Texas and having fun. We do this every year. First year we did it. We went to Prince's house, Minneapolis. We had a great time there. Toured his crib. It's just insane. The studio / home. If you ever get a chance to go out there, I would go out there if you like Prince's music or if you liked him as an artist. We went to Atlanta, or at least a part of Atlanta, a part of Georgia rather, last year on this like 13-acre property. It was insane. Had a lake and 3 houses, but we only had 2 houses. We called the little house and the big house, and we had fun with that. And this year we got another property. It's pretty vast property. It's got a pool and all that. We're gonna have a great time. We're gonna have our show, the music show, over there, probably Friday night. But I'll be on a plane throughout Friday, so I won't be here on Friday. I'll be here Monday, I believe, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Okay. But I'll be there Friday. And for those who watch me, I'll be in Texas on Friday playing the music. All right. You guys have a good one. Oh yeah, thank you. I'll be safe at the No Kings. I'll try and see if I can go live vertical on either YouTube or TikTok at the event. It's only like from 11 to 1, I believe. So I'm gonna come out there and chill and walk with them. I haven't done that in a long time, so I'm gonna do that. So we'll have fun with it. You guys have a great evening, great weekend, and your boy. I will see y'all when I see you. Take care.